Hi, this is Stephanie from Shimmering Bodies. Today I want to give you a reading. It's going to be a pick a card reading, so it's going to involve a tarot reading as well as a channeled message, and I'm going to include some stones and crystals for your healing journey. The theme of this reading is about what we are purging at this time, what we are healing from, and also in honor of Valentine's Day, I want to add in some messages about self-love and the self-love journey. So you can pick from one of these. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3 or number 4. So just trust your intuition and pick a pile, and when you're ready you can forward. The timestamps will be listed below. Okay, so if you chose number 1, which is the selenite and quartz crystals, then this is the reading for you. Before I flip over these cards, I just wanted to talk about some of the energies that I was picking up as I was choosing the cards. And I've been picking up somebody who is battling with negativity and battling with toxicity and also with self-doubt. So this is somebody who's at a transitional point in their life when they need to transform. And I'm going to bring in the fire element of this candle for this person to remind you that you can transform, and it's all about the choices you have for which new directions you choose to bring your energy into. Energy is a raw, potential, and it just matters where you invest your energies. There's no rights, there's no wrongs, but choosing the right path is important. And so when you're on the cusp of making a transformation, it's really good to get clear, especially now that we have this new moon in Aquarius as of February 11th, which was yesterday. But no matter at what time you're coming into this reading, this will be the right message for you, which is about setting intentions for the new directions that you're about to move into. So this person is on the cusp of transformation. This person also, I'm feeling, is dealing with a lot of issues around boundaries, creating boundaries within themselves, and also adhering to setting boundaries with other people. So this person is also dealing with interpersonal issues or interpersonal patterns where there's been a lot of inner conflict with within yourself, but also with other people. I'm seeing almost like narcissistic type of people, or people who are empathic that just don't know how to create their own boundaries yet. So one of the things I will give you as food for thought is just to look at boundaries in your life and see how you create boundaries and retain them within yourself, and how you create boundaries with other people. And I want to give you this idea of fire to transform. Okay, so with that, we'll go into the reading. So I'm going to flip over the cards and then we'll read them. Okay, so these are your cards. The first card is resolving conflict. So again, like I said, there's an energy of just having interpersonal conflict with people, and it comes from a point of being, yeah, I'm just noticing these words on these little stones down here: empathy, compassion, and understanding. So that goes two ways for me. I'm seeing that when you are very compassionate and understanding and empathetic, you tend to let other people cross your boundaries. So one thing is to mind your boundaries when dealing with other people. Also, if you set boundaries, you need to mind your own boundaries. If you expect other people to respect your boundaries, you have to keep your own boundaries. And then the other way it works is that when you do have conflict with somebody, it's best to come from an angle of empathy, compassion, and understanding, so that you're not just being aggressive or passive in a situation, but you're being assertive and you're asking that person, well, what's going on with this? Or what's the deeper meaning of this? Or, how can we come to some sort of agreement? So it's resolving conflict has to do with conflict resolution, and there's so many beautiful healing techniques around conflict resolution. So I would recommend like looking up conflict resolution to get some strategies to resolve conflict with other people in your life. But also I'm sensing with this person for you, it's like, you know, you have a lot of inner conflict as well. It has to do with being connected to your heart. So when you're disconnected from your heart in some ways, sometimes it's hard to know when you're not in alignment. And so this is about coming into alignment so that your heart, your soul, your spirit, your body, your mind, everything is in alignment and in balance, and you're respecting yourself on all levels. You're not ignoring parts of yourself. So that's what I'm picking up from this card. Beautiful images. This is from a new deck I have. It's called the True Love Reading Cards by Belinda Grace. All right, and this next card is Little Boy Blue, Dreams Come True, Return of the Soul. So I see this person at like a transformation or transitional point in their life, and I see that you have the ability to almost be reborn like a little baby. And I see all these butterflies, which are a symbol of transformation, and he's a fairy baby coming out of this cute little mushroom. And I think that's just to mean that right now is a time when if you do align, like I said, with your body, mind, heart, and soul, and you come into resonance with yourself, then you will stop having inner conflict. You will also stop having outer conflict with other people. You know, babies and children, they're just so innocent. You know, they don't a lot of times know to deceive or fool people to hide their emotions. That's not what they have any desire to do. If they're hungry, they will let you know. They'll cry, they'll ask for food. If they're upset, they usually, you know, make a grumpy face and they'll say, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm upset. So I feel like maybe in order to progress your healing forward, maybe you can do a little bit of inner child work, and also just work with the image of becoming a baby and becoming innocent and fresh and new and moving into this new world with that. But also, as it says below, return of the soul. So it's returning to your soul so that you can be, like I said before, in alignment with yourself. Okay, this next card is the Seven of Boons. This is one of my favorite decks. It's called the Forest of Enchantment Tarot deck, and it's by let's see, who is it by? It's by Lunea Weatherstone and Muralaya Allwood. It's a kind of like a fairy deck a little bit. And so this is a card about decisions and about pathways in life. So you have these different doors, and the number 7 in and of itself is sort of like a problem-solving number in the tarot sequence. And so right now you have, sorry, my hand's shaking. Right now you have this path that you've been on, and you've been having maybe potentially conflict with people, either relationships, family members, people that you work with. And it's because you've been out of alignment with yourself and not speaking from your heart or acting from your heart. So you have some incongruence. And that now that you're going to be reborn like a little baby and enter into the innocence of a new life, then it's really saying, where do you want to go? Which door will you choose? So in this message, there's a lot about being patient and considering, you know, all these different doors. They have different shapes, they have different colors. Like I said earlier, there's no right or no wrong. It's just like, what's the experience that you want to have at this time? And once you enter in through one of those doors, like say if you pick that door right there, the other doors would then disappear. So you have to just take some time and be patient to consider and set some intentions about where you want to go next in your life. And this especially has to do with how you want to live from the point of alignment from your body, mind, heart, and soul. All right, and then we have the Page of Wands, which is the page cards are all about sort of like new possibilities and beginnings, and it's sort of like a card of the student. And the wands are about desire and passion, and it's a very fiery energy. And so this is to tell you that no matter where you go, you have the possibility to go wherever you want to go, and to make sure that that door that you do pick has some sort of alignment with your passion and your fire and your desire. And I believe the Page of Wands also has a little bit of a warning in it to make sure not to be too hasty, because you don't want to, for instance, like play with fire and get burned. So it's like this card says, just considering the possibilities, choosing your path forward. This card says once you've chosen your path, you will have the ability to be successful along that path, but just not to rush it and, maybe slow down. All right, so your last card is a flower card, and it's the bellflower. And it's a card of gratitude. So I just want you to take a moment to center yourself and think about the things that you have to be grateful for in your life. Because even though sometimes we feel overwhelmed, especially in the world today with so much going on and so much to process, that coming into a place of gratitude to slow down and remember the things that we're thankful for helps us progress and to create more of those things to be grateful for. So that comes with a little quote, which is, gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. All right, so now I'll end with this channeled message that I created. So I channeled this message before I pull any of these cards, and I pick the stones and kind of start to pick up on the energy of the people that will come into this reading. So this is a special message for you. You can't see it very well, but I colored this with golden and silver colored pencils. And so I was thinking about doing a cleansing. So just close your eyes and receive this message, and think about gold threads of healing light coming into your crown chakra, and silver threads of healing light coming into your third eye and mid-brow. And so what this is the golden light is the sun coming in to energize and purify, and the silver light threads are the moon coming in to inspire and to deepen and to bring in the new energies, the new thoughts, the new ideas, the new creativities. So the message is, come into stillness. Allow your energy to settle and disperse like flowers falling off of a tree. Think about in Japan, they have that festival with the cherry trees, and the leaves fall off and it creates this beautiful pink sea of flowers on the ground, and it's so poetic and beautiful. So I want you to think about being that flower falling off the tree and gently falling to the earth. I want you to release and let go. Calm the fire within down to burning embers. Just see that fire that's burning within you, and to control it, just see if you can contain it into, the glowing embers of the fire at the end of the campfire. Now, as this fire is burning, I want you to imagine the fire through your body and allow the fire to burn through you, burning off any negativity, any toxicity, any self-doubt, and any fear. You are in the position of transforming. Empty yourself. Feel nothing but the heat and the heartbeat, the heat of the blood and the beat of the heart. Feel your blood coursing through your veins, removing toxins from your system. And tonight I want you to drink lots of water and take lots of rest. So that is your message. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't feel like you connected with this, you can still go back and pick number 2, 3, or number 4. Okay, if you selected number 2, then this is your reading. I love this big, huge piece of amethyst, and in this reading, This is a healing for your throat chakra and for your third eye chakra. And so we have these beautiful blue stones and this beautiful amethyst. And the third chakra is, sorry, not the third chakra. The third eye is about intuition and a sense of purpose and direction. And it's about your intuition and your extrasensory perception. And the throat is about your finding your own truth and expression and being able to communicate with other people. So this was something that came up immediately for you, is this part of your body. So like the throat and third eye chakra, and just having communication between those two parts. Now, I did take some notes on what I was feeling about you before I did this reading, and I'm really picking up on your pain body. So I'm really picking up on mostly physical pain and how the pain body relates to the pain, emotional, psychospiritual pain that we've been through in life. And so I was kind of feeling like sore and stiff and crunchy, and also a little bit like my nervous system felt a little fried. I felt a little bit like I could be too sleepy or on edge, or, just having a hard time like finding true relaxation. And so the word I'm thinking of for you to consider is regulation. And how do you regulate between the yin and the yang so that you can have balance? And I think in order for you to feel this sense of balance, you're going to need to consider safety and how you feel safe on a lot of different levels, particularly on an emotional level, and how you might have physical holding patterns where you maybe potentially at one point in your life did not feel safe. And so maybe you didn't speak up, or maybe you felt not sure about being able to communicate with other people, some of your intuitions, and maybe people didn't believe in your abilities. I'm picking up on somebody who's very empathic, maybe even psychic, somebody who's a healer, an artist, and I'm thinking that and feeling that part of your path to being an artist and a healer is to harness the sensitivity that hasn't always been accepted by the people around you. So I feel like you have these gifts of sensitivity, and that the people around you have either made you feel like you had to protect or hide that, or on some level that sort of protection has gotten into your body and related into holding patterns. And so we're just going to take a moment to settle back into the body and kind of center yourself into your spine, and really just kind of feel gravity supporting you, and just kind of give yourself a sense of safety within your own body before we begin the reading. All right, so let's look at the cards that were chosen for you. So we have the Distorted Feminine, Stardust Fairy, the Nine of Boons, the Five of Swords, and Primrose. So starting with the Distorted Feminine, what I'm picking up on is if you are feminine, or if you're a woman, or you just relate as being a he, a she, or a they that tends towards femininity, or if you're a masculine watching this video and maybe it's about just being in touch with your sensitive sides. This is about how those sensitivities and those female qualities get distorted. And I think what I'm pulling from this card is really about how your distortion of reality around your sensitivities, in the positions that you've been put into to hide these sensitivities or be ashamed of these sensitivities. you know, these, first of all, these sensitivities are powerful, and they're powers that other people on a psychic level may not realize that they want to shut those powers down, and therefore they're poo-pooing your abilities or your sensitivities. But also, and what I'm picking up on is just that idea of the story that we've lived, and being to separate yourself from your story and to see each day as a new day, where you don't have to feel like you're being attacked by other people, and therefore kind of retaking over control of the way you perceive yourself, because who cares how other people perceive you? It's really about how you perceive yourself. And baby, you are limitless. So just remember that you are capable of anything. All right, so let's move on to the Stardust card. So to me, this card has a lot to do with psychic activity. It says here, premonitions, galactic communications, beginning and endings. So this is like, you know, crown chakra and beyond, up into the universe, and being in contact and in touch with those abilities to communicate with the higher realms. I'll call them the higher realms. And so in the background, you can see all these stars. And so the part of this card is about cycles, and the stars have their life cycles. And in the life cycle of a star, you know, it'll start off as, you know, something that's burning really bright, and over time it kind of starts to fade away and eventually kind of implodes upon itself and becomes nothing. And that's part of the transformation of energy. And so you can see all these almost like lightning bolts coming off of her. It looks like wisps of hair, or like feelers that are going out into the universe. And I feel like there's a little bit of confusion with what's going on right now, because there's so many different things happening, and some of the messages coming through are solid and strong, and you will know what those messages are, and then other messages are just very chaotic and confused. And if you connect into the upper realms often, it can throw you off center and bring in a lot of like chaotic and almost unsure energy, and that can translate in the body as anxiety and almost like overwhelm. I'm getting somebody who kind of is a little bit on a psychic overwhelm, just based on everything that's happening in the world and the ascension process, and how everything is coming in like these strong lightning bolts of energy coming in constantly into your field. And on some level, you know, like that is very overwhelming. So the next card is the Nine of Boons, and this is about this little woman. She's called a brownie, and she has retreated into the fairy forest to go live by herself, and her companion is this little moth. And she's just enjoying the berries and chilling out. And so this to me is saying that, you know, you need to take time to retreat and give your psychic abilities and your empathic abilities and your sensitive abilities time to nourish and restore with the things that are right for you. If you are constantly, like if you're an empathic or a healer, or somebody who's constantly sensing and receiving messages and living in an empathic kind of state 24/7, you will get burned out really fast. And so whatever you're putting out there as far as healing other people or being there for other people, you need to come back in and find nourishment and support for yourself. And so now is a good time to take some time out for yourself and do the things that are nourishing for you to restore and recenter yourself and connect with the earth. All right, so this card is very complicated because it's this dude who basically he's been fighting and he won. He's got all the swords, but it's sort of like, okay, I won, now what? So it's that feeling of like you got the thing that you wished for, but it's not really quite like you wanted it. And so there's a sense of almost like regret, because you were going for the thing that you wanted and you forgot to consider other people into your equation. And so this is about winning for yourself versus, you know, bringing the whole team forward. So it's like a self versus the collective or the whole. So the energy I'm getting from this is just to be mindful of your community, be mindful of the people around you. You might be on your own journey right now, and that feels right, because this card is all about going within, nourishing yourself. You're getting all these psychic messages. You're evaluating all these stories that you've had in your past. And this is just kind of like a warning card saying, yes, spend time on yourself, but just remember that you are part of a group, part of a community, part of a collective, and the goal is to shift and to move everybody together. And so when we heal the distorted feminine, whether you're masculine or feminine, when you heal this distorted feminine, you are healing the distorted feminine for all. When you heal the healer, when you are able to connect psychically and empathically and intuitively and be confident with that, then you create space for other people to do the same. When you have a self-care program and you take care of yourself, you are also helping other people do the same. So just remembering that you're part of that collective and try not to create too much conflict. And the last card is the Primrose, which is about youthful love. The quote is, "If I had a single flower for every time I think of you, I could walk forever in my garden." With this message, I definitely got like a sense of like somebody out there is thinking about you and feeling you and, you know, wishing they could be with you on a romantic level. So this is almost like to me, I'm getting like a secret admirer kind of vibe off of this card. And I feel like something is going on love-wise behind the scenes that you might not know about. I'm hearing like 3 months. There might be 3 months where, you know, you don't know what this is in regards to, and then someone might come out of the woodwork and, you know, tell you that they're ready to get back together, or that they want to talk, or that they've always had a crush on you, something like that. That's the vibe I'm getting off of that card. And they might literally bring you flowers or something like this. There's a cute little butterfly on there. Okay, so this is my channeled message. Now I write these messages before I pick the cards. So when I was considering the amethyst and the, you know, the throat and third eye chakras and who would be coming to this reading, I wrote down a channeled message. So this is a message for you. You are safe. You are protected. You are held by the Divine Mother and connected to that which is all-knowing and sacred. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Trust. Release. Heal. Slow down. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. I trust my intuition. I listen to my dreams. I feel safe to speak up. I freely flow in and out of expression. All right, so that was reading number 2. If you feel like that was not your message, you can still look at reading number 1, reading number 3, or reading number 4. I hope that helped somebody out there. All right, enjoy. Okay, if you chose number 3, then this reading is for you. For this reading, I chose these stones, which represent the solar plexus and heart chakras. These are here, heart chakra and solar plexus chakra. And those chakras, the heart is about love and compassion and belonging. And the solar plexus is about ambition, action, and power. And so what I did before I started to pull the cards is I picked the stones and I just tap into that part of my body to feel what's going on. And then I start to think of the collective and who might be attracted to this area of their body at this time. And so the images and words that I was picking up on is a little bit someone who might be struggling with some feelings of being down, feeling let down in life, and maybe experiencing some mood swings or kind of hormonal ups and downs, and just kind of like that place where you're at when you just feel maybe a little funky and you don't really feel like yourself, and it's kind of that feeling like you can't shake it. And so I was picking up on the balancing of that, which is about finding enthusiasm and joy and feeling, feeling full of purpose and power. And I thought about water and the flowingness and connectedness of water, and I started to feel quite uplifted. So I feel like any emotional energy that you could be tapping into at this time is really like a spectrum. So if you're feeling very sad and depressed, think about the opposite of that, and on that spectrum, where maybe you could be lacking in some enthusiasm and bright spot of your life, and just think of what you can do or practice that would bring a little bit of joy and light into your life. So that's kind of where we started the reading from, and then I chose these cards. And so I'll just go ahead and flip these cards over, and it's kind of funny how, I had picked these themes and did these channeled messages, which we'll get to at the end of the reading, and how the cards kind of all support that, and spirit comes together to support the message and to complete the message. All right, so we have luminosity, the secret doorway, the council of animals, 3 of cups, 9 of Pentacles, and nasturtium. So the luminosity card is about being in that positive, uplifted space. And in order for you to be in this positive, uplifted space, you need to realize that you can't be everything to everyone all the time, and that you need to ask for help at times and to accept help from other people. But it's also about just letting your light beam forth from who you are, and being in, again, as I was saying with number 1, it's about being in alignment with yourself so that you can truly shine. And this will ultimately set you free. So it's finding those things that make you luminous, that make you happy, that bring that spark of golden yellow light into your life. I want you to think about what could be fresh and fun and interesting for you to engage in. And if you're not ready to engage in something yet, then start thinking about the fantasy about what it would be like to start to engage in something fresh and fanciful. All right, the next card, which also has these beautiful little golden fairies rolling around, and this light is pouring out of this doorway. It says the secret doorway, working with intuition, second sight opening, dimensional doorways. And so in this card, they talk about there being ley lines, where there's powerful lines underneath the earth, and that at some places there's secret interdimensional doorways that you can pass through. And I'm going to relate this to that spectrum that I was just talking about, where if you're on one end of the spectrum and you're experiencing sadness or depression or just any kind of emotional funk or heaviness, or something that you just can't seem to shake, or things don't seem like they're quite going your way, to start looking for those opportunities and portals that you can step through in order to transform into this golden light, and to again have that luminosity and bring the joy in. And this is also about working with your intuition and about second sight opening. So there's an element of, your emotions. You can never ignore your emotions, because they're giving you some clues about how to be in alignment with yourself. So, it's not going to work just to sweep stuff under the rug, or be unhappy at a job situation or unhappy in a relationship situation. Just acknowledging, okay, like this isn't working for me, or I don't really feel great about working here, or I'm not really vibing with this person anymore. I'm not sure if this friendship is serving me anymore. Just getting to the point where you can say it to yourself, so that you can start to figure out, how am I going to get another job, or does it make sense for me to exit this relationship right now? Giving yourself some options so that you don't feel stuck, and therefore you're giving yourself a doorway into another opportunity, into another experience. All right, the Council of Animals is super cute. I love this deck. I said earlier, it's the Forest of Enchantment Tarot deck, which is one of my favorite decks that I have, and it's by Linnea Weatherstone and Maralaya Allwood. Anyways, this is the cover of the box that it comes in, and it's called the Force of Enchantment. If you want to check it out, it's a beautiful deck. I highly recommend it. It's got a lot of positive energy to it, and the messages are so beautiful. The message of this card is that the animals all show up to council as who they are in their animalistic qualities, and they expect you to do the same thing. So it's a come as you are, warts and all kind of card. And with this can come epiphanies and breakthroughs. And so sometimes when we're feeling very emotional, we have to make some realizations about what our beliefs are, or how other people have been treating us, or just how unhappy we've been, and things that we haven't wanted to face, we might have to face. So this is a card about truth and honesty coming to the fore, and about being who you really are in your deepest inner self, and about embracing that and using that as knowledge to move forward. When I was working with just picking up on your energy before the reading, I was really feeling like someone who could benefit from journaling at this time, or working with creative arts therapies like drawing and writing poetry, and doing some drama therapy, or whatever feels like it could work for you, but just something where you're beginning to express yourself and kind of purge some of these emotions and start to transform them. So the next card I picked up was the Three of Cups, and this message is really simple. I just feel like this person, so for you, I feel like you really need to reach out to your friends and seek support from the people you love and the people around you, and that people that lift you up. That's really important with this person, is really to get into the mode of finding support in ways where you can uplift yourself and get uplifted from other people. And this card is the Nine of Pentacles, and this card is really kind of like about somebody who's doing well in life. They've got everything worked out. They're, supporting themselves. They've got these nice clothes, maybe a nice house, but they're definitely doing it by themselves. They might not be partnered up. And so I'm sensing with this card someone who, potentially is deep down very lonely, and wants to have deep connections with someone on a romantic level, but that maybe at this time it's just hasn't really worked out. So you've just been putting your head down and doing your own thing and trying to transform your life and claim your empire and do all that business. But at the same time, it's sort of like an acknowledgement of, success on your own, but ready to share your life with someone else. So to end the reading portion with the tarot cards, the nasturtium card. The nasturtium is a flower that's so modest. It's like you wouldn't really notice it. It's actually like an edible flower that sometimes people put in salads and things like that. but it grows everywhere, especially in California. It's all over the place. It's not you don't look at it and go, ooh, nasturtium, it's so beautiful. No, it's just one of those flowers that just adds like a splash of color to like some river embankment or something like that. But this flower is really about that silent power and about the victory and about conquest. So in this card, I really sense that you're going to overcome the emotional issues and struggles that you're having right now, and you're going to be able to move forward. It's just right now you're just purging a lot, and I have a sense that a lot of that is just ancestral kind of programming that you just need to purge out of you. And I feel like you might be crying a lot and just kind of, or you could also just be wanting to cry, but you can't. And so this nasturtium is saying, he who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. So to overcome these emotional ups and downs, you just need to dig deep within yourself. And like it says, he who masters himself is mighty. All right, so we'll end with these channeled messages. Now, I channel these messages before I pick the cards. So what I do is I pick the stones and the chakra first, and then I write. So, sorry, I got interrupted because the stupid alarm on my phone is always going off. So let me just pick up where I left off. So first I pick the stones. I pick up like a chakra or body part or something. I feel into it, into myself. I figure out what's going on. Then I start to feel into the collective, and I start thinking about colors and images, and then I do a channeled message. So this is the message for you. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Allow the light to enter into your eyes. You are receiving this light. It is coming to you, not the other way around. Allow the light to come to you. Allow it to wash and bathe your eyeballs. Allow it to enter into your nervous system and bring this light in, and allow it to bring you joy. Welcome in the energy of the sun, golden yellow. See the sun dancing on water, sparkling, kissing leaves on trees. This light is so beautiful. It brings you such peace and serenity. It is so loving and abundant. Love is power, self-love is power, and you are loved. I also feel like there could be like a little bit of inner child work that needs to happen with this person, and possibly also some ancestral healing. So you can look at maybe some shamanic healing practices, some breath work, maybe some inner child work. That would all be good stuff for you right now. All right, I hope you got something out of this message. If you don't feel like you connected to number 3, then you can always pick number 1, 2, or 4. All right. If you pick number 4, then this reading is for you. So these are the stones. Now we have these root and sacral chakra stones. Excuse me. And those are the 2 chakras that are basically in the sacrum area and at the lowest point of the torso. So those are, the root chakra is about physical survival, safety, and security. And the sacral chakra is about joy of intimacy, creativity, pleasure, sexuality, also about the womb and ability as a woman to create, or just in the man as a creative force. Excuse me. So what I do is I pick the stones in the body part or the chakra, and then I channel a message, which we'll do at the end, and then I select the cards. So we'll go ahead and reveal the cards now. So life purpose, story keeper, 3 of spells, 2 of cups. Everybody loves 2 of cups. And the magnolia flower. So Well, first let me start with saying that I first tapped into you before I picked the cards. And what I was picking up on is a need to let go and a need to just be and to find balance within. I thought about energy pouring downwards like sand through an hourglass, just shifting and falling into gravity. And I thought about earthing, walking around barefoot and just kind of making contact with the earth. And I thought about centering and how, I don't know if you guys like it, but I really love like just doing yoga things that make you feel really centered, like the tree pose, or just even clasping your hands in front of your heart and then pushing into them, just that feeling of coming into the midline and being centered. That felt really good to me. And I thought about diet. I thought about the digestive system and about macrobiotic diet, which I did at one point, which really felt like a very clean diet to be on. Also thought about the elimination diet. I don't know if you guys have tried that, but it's basically where you eliminate common allergens and then you slowly reintroduce them into your diet, and you could just kind of figure out like what's causing you digestive stress, and then you can eliminate those things from your diet. I did that diet maybe like 4 times, and every time I did it, I found a new thing that I felt sensitive to and I eliminated it, and it really helped with my whole elimination process, as well as just like my energy levels, and I felt less foggy. And so the other thing I was picking up for you is color therapy, which is why I kind of have these like rainbow colors going on in the background. So the first card, Life Purpose, is about coming into the heart. And actually I was listening to this woman, Michelle, she's at Divine's Purpose on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Instagram this morning. And she was talking about how she's an artist and how art is like her first love. And I was thinking about that because I used to be a dancer, and now I'm a somatic movement therapist, and I just love dance and movement and being in the body. And that really is the feeling of life purpose. It's about that thing that makes your heart sing, that even if you never fell in love with anybody in this life, you would feel like, I'm in love with this thing. I just love dance. I love movement. I love music. It's what drives me. It can be something obscure, like I love, gardening, or I love knitting. It can be anything, but it's that feeling of being in your heart center and in that state of passion, drive, and love. And that's what brings you life purpose, and it's what allows you to radiate light from your heart center. All right, so the next card is the Story Keeper. And the Story Keeper is about writing down your story. It's about realizing that nothing in your life is insignificant, and that you have purpose, and that just you existing on the earth and being who you are and doing that thing that you love is creating a written record in the Akashic records, and it's going into the collective. So this is about being somebody who is a story keeper, and that's like one of your missions in life. And so you could be a writer or somebody who likes to write maybe stories, short poetry, maybe you like to journal. This is saying that this is a good time to do some journaling, to reflect back on the stories of your life and to see how things have all come together for you. Like, what is your story? And maybe tell your stories to some friends and, recount what's happened through your lifetime in a story-like way, so that you can depersonalize yourself from that story and see how we are all part of a collective, ascending and moving forward on a spiritual path. All right, so this is the Three of Spells. So the three energy is about harmony and balance, and also about getting things into motion. And so this is a card about having intention. So it's like all these little sparkles of light is the magic that this witch has cast over these candles that are in walnut shells. So she casts this magic of intention and sends it out into the shell, into the water, so that it can flow and go wherever it needs to go. So with this card, I'm kind of picking up on, you have a purpose, you have a passion, there's the thing you love. You don't know what that story is going to be or how it's going to come out at the end. You just know you like to do these things. And so this is about not controlling where or how those things make you money or come to fruition. But this is just about like knowing that those are the things you love to do and setting that intention of like, I want to monetize and support myself through these practices I have, or about, I want to create more love in my life. I want to cultivate more self-respect. I want to be more in alignment with myself. Whatever you feel on a spiritual level that you're working on right now that has to do with things that are standing in the way of you being 100% in your own light of your own heart. And now's the time to cast the intention, to put the magic out there. And my sister was saying that, words are magic, and to speak things out loud is so important. And so saying things out loud and setting your intentions, this is the time to do it. And then you've got this Two of Cups. So this is also about harmony. It's about things just kind of like coming together and working out and finding union and finding balance within particularly two people, but it can also be within yourself. So I feel like this has multiple meanings. One of them is along the lines of the life purpose and the storytelling, and the magic casting is to, when you are in your life's purpose and you have discovered that thing that you really love, you don't need anything outside of yourself. You've come into union with yourself. And when you feel like you are in alignment, you realize that your story matters and that, you have the magic to make it happen. Then there is something magic that happens where you really truly manifest that union with the self. And it creates such like joy and light, and oh my goodness, it's the best feeling. And I love the caduceus, so the two snakes that kind of come up to the lion's head. So the snakes are masculine and feminine energies, yin and yang energies, the two opposite energies in our dualistic world that weave and come together. It's the right side of the body, the left side of the body, the front of the body, the back of the body, all coming together into an integration and to create this power of union of the whole. And so this is a good auspicious card for, going into business. These two cards kind of to me go together. I mean, they all go together, but this is basically anything that you want to happen right now will happen. And this is saying that there's a potential for, falling in love and to really vibe and harmonize with one person on a romantic level. It's also saying that there could be some really great business deals right now where you're going to enter some really awesome partnerships and have mutual respect at your job, which doesn't happen very often. So this is a very powerful card, and for some reason I feel like I want to say something about the lion's head with the wings, which is about the courage to face and to integrate those two or the disparate parts of yourself, to integrate and center and to come into union, and the lightness of the wings that's required to, once you have that union, is to just let it escape and like be out in the world and share it with other people. All right, the magnolia is about nobility and self-esteem. There's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. So it's like, you know, you're only in competition with yourself, really, and you don't need to have superiority over anybody. It's really just about self-discovery and self-love. And yeah, this card is really about the self and about overcoming overcoming some thoughts within yourself that you don't think that it's like a lack of trust is what I'm picking up. A lack of trust that you don't know how to make the magic happen, or that you can't make the magic happen or something. This reading is magic. You can make the magic happen. I mean, look at these beautiful cards. This is you. This is you in your power. All you have to do is claim it. All right, so now we'll end with a channeled message, which if I didn't mention earlier, I do the channeled messages first before I pick the cards, so hopefully they go together. All right, so this message is for you. Let go. No effort. Don't try. Just be. There is nothing to fix here. There's nothing to work on. Surrender. Surrender to this moment, because it might just surprise you. It might be delicious and yummy. Drink it up. Move downwards. Feel gravity. Feel the belly. Feel your weight. Feel the ground. Center yourself and receive the earth. Balance is a blessing. All right, so that is number 4. If you didn't, feel like you connected with that message, you could still pick message number 1, 2, or 3. All right, I hope that helped.